feeling so small. Watch the clock ticking off the wall. But tonight I'm letting it go. Spend my coin for sure. I'm gonna be myself, or I could be someone else. No one's stopping me now.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm so happy to have you. So my previous subscribers, welcome back. So for today's video, we're talking about Pope Francis, whether or not he's retiring. We're going to talk about the Indigenous scandal that's going on in Canada and what's going on there. We're also going to talk about his potential step down and who is going to replace him in the Papacy. And we're also as well going to be talking about the nationalistic fascist Christians and what the future holds for that here in the United States and globally. So we're going to take a look at a couple of different things today. If you will just want to jump to certain parts of this video, everything will be timestamped in the description below and also in the comment section. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give the thumbs up. Everything, any sort of engagement on this YouTube channel and in particular video definitely help the channel out. So I appreciate all of your support. All right, let's jump into this, shall we? Okay, so this video is being recorded on August 3rd, 2022 at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the time at which it's being recorded is 5 p.m. here Eastern Standard Time. And here is the latest news cycle on Google. So, stuff like that. So anyway, besides the point, guys, let's jump into it. We have a lot to get through. If you are interested, there's just some quick disclaimers on your screen right now. Feel free to read them on your own time. Please keep in mind this video is just for entertainment purposes only and for educational purposes only as well. This video is not meant to scare you in any particular way, but just to potentially bring light to the situation and try to understand it so we can get a head start on what's happening, so we're not in a state of shock or fear when it does occur or if it occurs. Now, this is nothing that's ever set in stone. Something does, some are not. It's really depends on a soul contract that we all agree to. So just please keep that in mind when we do today's video. All right, let's jump in. So the first question that we have here is the Catholic Church, the Vatican, and the Indigenous people. What happened and what did the future hold? So now I haven't really tried to keep out in the cycle. I really haven't been paying attention to anything really. So when I read today on this specific question, I have no background, really barely any background understanding. All I know is that people were killed, they were buried, and they were abused. But let's jump into it. Okay, so Spirit Angels, tell me about the Catholic Church, the Vatican versus the Indigenous people. What happened and what did the future hold going forward? I should have used the Native American Tarot deck, but it's fine. I forgot I even had it. Maybe I wasn't supposed to use it for this reading. Okay. Okay, so there is definitely going to be judgment. That is something that's for certain here. So we have the Page of Wands. And the Page of Wands is kind of talking about rulership, missionary. I kind of feel like in some way or some form this was a religious mission. I do see something with the Spanish here. So it had to do something with the conquista. Maybe they were trying to colonize Canada during this time period. It has to do with trying to spread the gospel or religion, right? We have here on the left side here is we have the French and the Americans, right? That's why we have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of cups here. We have the French and the Americans here during this time period. So this is around early 1800s, the start of the Revolutionary War, the American colonies. We do have Quebec. Quebec is the French quadrant or province within Canada, and that is very interesting that is showing up here in the reading. I do see that there was some sort of agreement. Maybe there was some sort of tight relationship between the United States and Quebec, or the French quarters. We do have here underneath the Page of Wands here, the spreading of the gospel. Please keep in mind, again, this is just for entertainment purposes only, was really all about money and trying to make sure that they can create their version of a civilized society by marginally discriminating against those who don't fit that idea, or idea really. We have here on the right side, though, in terms of the future of what is going on here and what the future holds for the Indigenous people, I do feel like the course will rule in favor of the Indigenous people. Now, I'm not sure if there's some sort of lawsuit. If there is, it's going to rule in favor of the Indigenous people. There is some shady dealing that went on here. There will be some underlying trafficking that will be revealed through this. I do see that there is, during this whole process, while this was still going on, even till today, I do see that what happened during the Indigenous people was during some sort of something with slavery here, and also had to do with smuggling money or smuggling something into another country or into Canada. Was it the country known as Canada today? We have here on the right side here, we have the Ace of Swords reversed. This will not take down the Vatican in terms of the scandal. It is just going to be one of those things that will just be added of scandal to the Vatican. We do have here reversed, though, is that even though a lot of people died, I'm not trying to desensitize the death that have occurred here. What I am seeing in the card here is that kind of a lot of people who are focusing on what's going on, at least the Americans mostly, aren't as concerned as just say if you were Canadian. And they'll focus more on the money or the trails, whereas the Canadians are focused more on the death. So it feels to be that there's some sort of different perspective here that is being focused. We do have here, though, at the end of the deck here, the final outcome card here. The judgment will be made between the Catholic Church and the Indigenous people, and the future will be decided. It looks as of right now it's on the side of the Indigenous people. Is there anything else that needs to be told to my viewers, spirits, and angels about this specific topic? Okay, yeah, so it won't be the death of the Vatican. However, there will be a renewal of the Indigenous people support, but that will be easily squandered by what is going on in the United States. And that has to do with, again, the Christian nationalism, the Christian fascism, that's going to also make its way up to Canada. So I do see that being very prominent here. Okay. By that point, when it happens, it makes its way to Canada. Biden is no longer in office. Okay. So it could be within 2 years, could easily be within a few years. Who knows? But whatever is happening, it's going to make its way to Canada. Okay. So get ready. Try to stop it as fast as you can, because it's basically a plague. It's really what it is. Okay. So the next question that we have here is, will Pope Francis retire in the future? If not, what will happen? They told me to use the other deck, so we're going to use that. Okay, so if you're not sure what this deck is, it is the new Tower of the New Vision, which makes sense because it really fits a new vision for the Catholic Church. Where is it heading? So, Spirit Angel, tell me, will Pope Francis retire in the future? If not, what will happen? Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. This is what's happening in terms of Pope Francis and his retirement. Right? We have the moon card before. Secrets are revealing themselves, right? Truths are being unearthed, being revealed to the public, right? That is reverse. And that tells me that is what's happening, right? When it's upright, it means things are being hidden. We have the World card. This is the first card that came out. And what this is really highlighting here is signifying, as you look here, I'm seeing Roman Catholicism early on that the early formation of religion. I don't know why that's coming through, but I do see that here. I do see very strong feminine energy, very strong women feminine energy. We have here stored And we have the Five of Swords. And you kind of see a lot of destruction, a lot of upheaval, a lot of sadness, right? I don't know if that building symbolizes the smoking gun, if that's what that means. It's like a smoking gun as mean, look here, this is what's to come. This potentially means that the Vatican or the Catholic Church, something happened that kind of pushes him out. It's also theoretically possible that there's some sort of revolution or riot that goes on within the Catholic Church, which actually something I channeled, but I'll do a separate video on it. So I do see some sort of thing happening, something major that leads to the removal. They also have to coincide with the truth being released to the public. Under here, we have the King of Chance, the King of Cups. Let's just say that because I can barely pronounce that way, right? You see here, we have Noah's Ark, right? We have him standing in water. We have different tools. He has an axe, a little map thing, a mallet, a knife, a net. We have a cat above him. And this is interesting because this is the king, and this is the papacy, right? And you kind of see this Noah's Ark, and here's this big wave coming. It's really a mountain, but in the aspect of what I'm looking at it looks like a big tidal wave. There's tsunamis coming. And so the question that really remains here is, will he retire? It looks like the question is uncertain. It almost feels like if he were to retire, he would retire now on the basis of his own health. That's what he would probably tell people. But it seems to be that he will retire based on some sort of scandal that he does not want to be a part of. We have in the bottom of this tarot deck right away, we have the Nine of Swords. If I counted this correctly, this is upset, sleepless nights. We also have here, we have the Seven of Pentacles reversed. You can kind of see the spirit flying above. This is the truth. The truth that was to be known to the spiritual world, to be known to the world, is that there's more coming. There's more that's going to be coming to light. This also revolves around the truth of a lie of some sort that was fed to the people, or the people who are followers of the church. Right? That's what I see. Okay. What is the future of the... Okay. I had a stroke reading this, but the question really symbolizes here is, what is the future of the papacy? Right? So we're going to ask that right now. Spirit angels tell me, what is the future of the papacy? If you're not familiar with what that means, Spirit, papacy is technically the Pope, the Vatican City, stuff like that. What is the future that lies within the Vatican City? Oh, I hope there's not an assassination. Take the other deck. What is the future of the papacy? We have the Five of Pentacles reversed. Money laundering, something being spread. So some sort of scandal. People, he's not going to leave on his own, but the future that lies within the Vatican City, something changes. And it doesn't have to, it may involve money, but there's something major on a big scale. It might have to do with war. It might also be a high profile figure being slaughtered, or even better yet, assassinated. I do see here, again, this video is just for entertainment purposes only. There is something that shakes up the Vatican City in particular. I do see that there is some sort of, I do see in my eyes, I see like military. I see some sort of military conflict, military action, something, somebody goes in and takes over. There's some sort of change in the papacy. We have here is, we have the Five of Wands, and that is kind of like almost like a revolution of some sort. But it's not the revolution that you would think it is. It's the revolution within the mind of the people, within the mind of those who follow that, for those who preach it. We have here the Pentacle, the creation of a new religion, a new idea. which is the Eight of Pentacles. But the thing I will say here, though, the question that remains is, what is this new religion? What is this new ideology? Is it the new era of fascism Christian? Or is it just a change or a shift from Christianity to Islamic, or some sort of other religion, or a combination of religion with another? Whatever it is, there's some sort of change. The question remains, is it for good or is it bad? But if you look at this guy's face here, you do man, right? That's a piece of hair on his face. But if you look closely, it kind of looks like a facial scar. Potentially, he was a veteran or a combat warrior. It's possible that this new change in the Vatican might go dark, or even darker than what it really is right now. So that leads into our next question. Which, by the way, this is not prepared. I did not pick these questions, but I put them in order in case of the tarot cards answering them. But just to be honest, it seemed to be that the tarot cards are answering the way that my tarot cards are going. So there you go. So I just don't want you to think I planned this video. I did not. I just had a gut feeling, so I did it. Okay. Spirit Angels will tell me about the Pope. Will the Pope Francis be replaced with a fascist or nationalistic Pope? I did feel that in my gut for a while, so let's take a look. Will Pope Francis be replaced? We got the moon here. It was reversed, so it looks like a yes, but we'll put this back in. If it comes up, it's a sign. And look at the shirt, too, with the howling moon. And that was not planned either. Okay, Spirit Angel, will Pope Francis be replaced with a fascist or nationalistic Pope? This is something I've been feeling for a while now. It's possible. It's possible. I'll give you that. It is plausible, very plausible. Will the next Pope that takes over after Pope Francis, will that person be a fascist or a nationalistic Pope? Yes. Okay. That's my fear, and that wasn't my fear. It wasn't necessarily a fear. It was just that inner knowing that there's a big shift and change. So what we were talking about prior with the future of the papacy and the massive changes in ideology, a shift in the religion, comes from this. It's the nationalistic fascist shift that changes the Vatican City future and history, and it makes you go dark. So let's read. So we have the Sun card reversed, and the Sun card here tells me, like I said before, the lights go out in the Vatican. The lights go out. The Vatican goes dark. Right? If the person is gonna be young, but also older in a way. It almost feels like this person is young, but appears to look young, but then also gives the energy of an older, mature male. But I'm also seeing a female here as well, so potentially this person may have longer hair than what initially is appropriate for a pope. So I do see that here, but this person tends to have very high fascist nationalistic views. We have here the Knight of Wands. So when Pope Francis leaves, he warned the nation, he warned people not to vote for this specific pope, right? Because of the corruption and greed that has taken place, right? This is after he leaves. And so through manifestation, we have the magician, the new leader, the new pope, right? But this pope wields his wand as if he is the ruler of the country. He is the ruler of the world. He says to the world that he is the light of the world. And that's what I'm seeing here, that this Pope believed that he is God, like he is divinely righted by God, that God chose him at this specific time to be here. And that is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a manifestation that the Christian right, the fascist Christian, this is why I'm saying it, because this is what they call themselves. If you are offended by the word fascist Christian, then you are indeed a fascist Christian. If you are not offended, you are not a fascist Christian. There are different types. There's regular Christian, there are different Catholics, there are different Protestant, there is Angelicism, Calvinism. There's a ton of different versions of it. If you are offended by a word that was rightfully, well, not, excuse me, one word, that was chosen by the people who practice white nationalism and white supremacy and Nazi idealism. If you are offended by that, you are indeed one of them. Okay, and that's what I'm seeing here. They've been manifesting, they've been wanting this movement, they've been strongly bringing this entity, this energy in, right? And it's being welcomed in the Vatican, what is shocking, but not surprising. Because there is a lot of dark energy that persists within the Vatican. We have the Tower card, natural birth, the crumble, right? The Tower movement, the removal, the change, the shift. It hasn't happened yet, which is why it's in reverse. But on up top of it, we have the Ace of Swords. And I asked the cards, will Pope Francis be replaced with a fascist or nationalistic pope? Right? This is the gut feeling I had. And this is the Ace of Swords. Yes. Because look at this. We have the crown not falling yet. But in the end, the crown is taking over. Right? The end of normalcy. The end of a status quo. We have the Knight of Swords. People coming in to the Tower, coming in, rushing into the Vatican, very fast, changing it, and installing a new entity, a new being, a new thing, a new pope, a new papacy, a new era, the King of Swords. And that is this person. This person is the King of Swords. That is their energy. Their energy is within the King of Swords. They are oftentimes considered a butterfly in the shape of a crescent moon. We have the 3 of cups reversed with 2 cups upright, but that's really reversed. The 2 cups are reversed and the 3 cups are still standing. And what it is telling me is that our life, our future, the papacy is not yet determined. But as of the energies right now, we're heading in that direction. And we have here at the end of the Rider-Waite Tower deck, we have JB reversed, and we have this woman very similar to the energy of Virgin Mary, and it's reversed. And what it is hinting and what it's talking about is talking about the era, a new era. And if you notice, you have the crescent moon here, right? It's talking about the fact that there's going to be a lot of twists, a lot of changes to the religion. There's going to be some hypocrisy. There's going to be a lot of hypocrites. There's going to be a lot of changes. They're going to start lying to people about even what's in their own books, because they have those books. But they're going to do it in the name of conspiracy theories. They're going to do it in the name of false information, fake information. And they're going to say, no, don't believe in the Bible. Believe in this new version of the Bible. That is what I'm seeing. And one of the most dangerous things about that, if you guys are not familiar, is that this had happened before. It wasn't like this is not surprising. This has happened, but not within the papacy. It had happened with politician leaders, representatives, people who use the religion to promote a certain idea or to kind of desensitize the public by allowing it to become normalized because it is generally accepted in the book. So, for example, slavery being allowed within the United States because it said it was okay to own somebody in the Bible. And so, therefore, people rationalized and said, well, the Bible says it, so it's allowed. Right? If you change the wording in a brand new Bible or introduce a new idea, you can normalize it in the same fashion. And it's not new. It's just something that people do because you're easily able to brainwash people. It is very simple. Look at the United States. It's not that hard. Okay. So what is the new Pope like after Francis? So let's take a look and kind of really understand the characteristics of this brand new Pope. And I think the best way for us to really figure that out is to kind of really take a look at the dark mirror, the dark reflection, right? To see what is their shadow self, what are they hiding? So, spiritually, after Pope Francis, the new Pope that comes in, the fascist nationalist or whoever it is, what are the characteristics like? What are the Pope Francis, after Pope Francis, the new Pope or the new papacy that comes in, what is the characteristic of this new Pope? After Pope Francis. Don't take two. Oh. Okay, that's not good. And then we're also going to use the new vision, because this is a new vision, the new direction for the papacy. So let's find out what else do we need to know. So what other characteristics does this new Pope that takes after Pope Francis? What is Pope like? Shit. Excuse me for my language. There's a lot of major iconic cards here. Okay, and they all seem to be reversed, which is not that really good. They're all reversed. Okay. So the first thing that we really need to talk about here is okay. So let me quickly explain. In the past, when I was talking about Vladimir Putin and all that during the Ukrainian invasion and whatnot, I recently got a hit, and I told you guys in the past I was going to do a video on it, never got around to it. But I did say in that same video that what I got with the Antichrist and what it really means was that when they talk about the Antichrist coming, people are expecting an individual. But what I got otherwise was that it doesn't mean an individual. It means a collective, a group of people, right? And so that, with that knowledge, with that understanding, that is what I'm seeing here, that there is a version, a dark version of the Antichrist here in this reading. So don't be scared, don't be alarmed, but I do see that here. Okay. Again, this video is just for entertainment purposes only. Okay. So we have here a colorless angel, right? And you kind of see here we kind of have the different like moon phases here. And we have colorless angel. I feel like in a way or some form, this person has no soul. Like this person traded something for something else. So if I give you this in exchange for this, it almost feels like they made a deal with something or someone. We have here a masquerade, right? Both lining, right? They're putting up a mask so you can't see who they really are. But this is who they are without the masquerade, right? We have the black flower vagrant. You know, I said the person has no soul. You see it here. This person has no empathy. They lack their ability to be empathetic. Right? They lack change. They lack progress. We have sacrifice and obsession. There is some sort of sacrifice here. And then we also have an obsession of some sort. Which, again, you know, I talked about the crescent moon and how that was going to signify the new age of the new Pope. Right? And that's what I'm seeing here, because there's a sacrifice here. And you can kind of see, we have here, if you look at the moon closely, there's missing one phase. And the phase is here. Obsession. There is some sort of obsession. I believe in my heart and what I'm feeling, if I'm correct, this person had the face of a woman, but is a man and has longer hair. Potentially maybe blonde, might be light brunette. But what's interesting about this person is that this person tells everybody that they are for the good, for the goodness of people. But I see that this person is jealous. They want the power of God. They are obsessed with it. They believe innately that they are God, that everybody should bow down to them, that people should worship them. And you guys have heard me in the past, I did talk about human beings being God. That is necessarily true, that we are 100% God. But what we are not to be is to be worshipped. Because we are our own version of our own version of God. And if you may not remember, we have our own little thing here that says the reason what God really means, what I haven't actually done a video on, which I was supposed to, and never really did it. God means geomagnetic field, opening dimension. God is just an opening portal to another universe, another world, another reality. That is all God is, right? And he's only here on earth. And that is what I get in a lot of my readings. When that came from my acts, when I was channeling in the shower, I asked, what does God mean? What does God signify? And that was what came to me. And I tell you, I kiss you not, that made more sense to me than any other religion that could explain the meaning of God. And so, underneath this card here, we have Colorless Angel with the Seven of Swords reversed. And what this is talking about here, and this person has shade. And when I say shade, this person has a sense of darkness, a sense of dull. I don't know what that is and what that means, but there's some sense of dullness here. It almost feels like this person is boring, but also it's unexpected. We have here underneath the masquerade, we have the devil. I think if this isn't telling you enough, because we have the horns here, right? But then it's also followed by the horns here. The same exact horns, by the way, looks exactly almost identical in terms of texture and everything, if you really compare the two. And that's what it's telling me here. It's telling me to masquerade, the idea that we are not bounded, that we are not bounded to the uniform in which we believe that we are. That we are not bounded to the system that created us. But innately, this person believes that we are bounded, and that we own our lives to these godlike figures, and that we shall give up our soul, so to speak, give up our ability to live freely at the expense of someone else's beliefs. And underneath the black flower fragrance, we have the Justice card here. And this is, ironically, very funny, but it's not funny. When I say funny, I don't mean that in the sense that this is something that should be laughed about. This is funny as the coincidental, that it comes up as a coincidence. And it comes underneath the flower, the black flower fragrance, right? It talked about Jesus being the motive of love, right? This is the Justice card. Justice was coming up in the past, right? And here it is. It looks very similar to Joseph and Mary holding the birth of Jesus. It's reversed. And what this is telling me here is that what is happening with this new pope, this new direction, it appears to be that they are following in the shadow of Jesus. They are following the darkness of what really love is really all about. They are preaching an idea that isn't really preached by the people who lived before. And that is something I do see here. I'm not a Christian, I'm not a Catholic, I am an atheist. But I understand other people, I understand what they go through. Right? This is me telling you what I see in the cards. I don't put my opinions in the cards, as you can clearly see. We do have here, though, underneath the obsession of sacrifice. Ironically enough, we have a sacrifice actually occurring. We have the hanged man. Okay? We're talking about Jesus. We're talking about the Catholicism, the creation of the story. Right? We have the birth of Jesus here, right? Then we have the hanged man. And look at all the people yelling and screaming. It is the story of Christianity. But we are entering the next phase of Christianity. But what this symbolizes to me, though, if you look closely, if you were to compare this very similar to the letter of, what to call it, of Ukraine and the war in Russia, if you were to compare the two, you will see it. And look, you can see the letter, that this is a symbol of the new creation, a new era for Europe. So let me take a look. I'm going to show you right now. So don't go anywhere. Let me show you. Where's the symbol? Okay, so this is what is being shown on a lot of vehicles, especially in Russia, people in support of white supremacy and nationalistic views. If you were to take this, right? You see the letter Z? And take this. It makes a letter Z, right? You see it here. Even if you go like this, you follow it. So you go this way, down, this way. It makes a letter D. And that's what I'm seeing here. And if you don't know what Z is, I believe D in a numerical sense means 10. But I think get the 10 commandments, if I'm correct. If D means 10 in numerical, it's talking about the renewal, the change of the commandment, the change of a new idea, a change of a new era. We're entering a new era of Christianity and what that means for the future. Okay. The next thing that we have here is Christian Fascist. That is the name that they gave themselves. This is not something that we called them. This is just the name they told everybody in the public. Just want to make sure I made that clear. Christian Fascist and their future in the United States and abroad. So we're going to take a look to see what is going on here. Because we saw in our readings earlier that what happens in America starts to make its way up and spread globally. So this is not an internal issue. This is a global issue. So spirits and angels tell me about the future of the United States and abroad when it comes to Christian fascists. Okay. All right. Now, this is what I see in the cards. Again, guys, I'm not preaching anything. This is just for entertaining purposes only. I went in it blind and reading blindly. Okay, I'm just telling you what I see in the card. So the first card that we have here, we have the Queen of Swords, right? And what the Queen of Swords is really symbolizing here with the Christian fascists and the future in the United States and abroad is that they feel like in some way that I feel like a woman is coming here. I don't know why. There's like a woman in ginger hair. I don't know what this is, but there's a woman here. A very strong woman. And she comes in and claims that she is God. Right? And what I am seeing here, well, actually, it could be God. It could be that, or it could be Jesus comes in the form of ginger hair. At least what we thought was Jesus. Right? Not when I say we, I mean what they think Jesus is. Right? You can see in the background storms coming, right? The wind blowing, the trees flying. You can see that in the background now, right? Something like very smoky. We have the King of Wands here. This takes place after Pope Francis, right? He's no longer in power. Right? He's no longer the Pope. Well, we have Judgment Day coming. And what I feel here very strongly is that these people, now this is their ideology here. I believe strongly, because what I'm seeing here, they believe that this entity, this being is coming down. That this person, this extraterrestrial, if you really think about it, is coming down to save us. They're coming down to save them. But a very small group of people, the chosen one, as they call it. And we have the Judgment card here, that all these people will be asking for the love, the forgiveness of their God. But that's not what it's talking about. This calling here, this entity, this being, that plus sign is telling them to kill more, to sacrifice more. And that is all mental. This is all mentally. This is what's going on in their mental brain. Is that in order to be accepted by their version of the God, that God is asking them to sacrifice more people in order to be rightfully accepted. You can see this in the fog, the clouds here, this dark cloud. You have red wings. This person is not to be trusted. You even have potential fire in the hair, right? If anybody knows flames, it's not a really good sign, especially when it comes to a darker, high dimensional energy, especially one that has hate, right? We have the ginger hair here, right, in the Queen of Swords. right? This is in the flesh, right? We have an angel here as well. But we have in the astral realm, in the spiritual sense, you have a being with red, orange hair, yellow hair. We have here is being given by a fourth cup. They believe that there was many cases of the chosen one, but there is one specific one that is coming. And they believe that the New World Order must be stopped, or that the New World Order is even coming. When you have this cup here, people are believing that this is the new religion, that this is the new idea. I feel it's very strong, this person coming, and they're going to say that they are the God that they were seeking. But in retrospect, they are not the God that they are speaking of. Because remember what I told you when I got a long time ago, that Antichrist is not an entity. It is a collective, a group of people, an ideology, a shared belief. That is what that is. That this person coming down pretending to be an entity of God of that religion. Right? We have Page of Pentacles, right? The new foundation, a new era, right? They're going to force a lot of people to do things that they do not feel comfortable doing, particularly young men. I don't know what that is, but young men in particular. I do see farming here, so maybe potentially we bring back slavery. I'm not sure. Again, this video is just for entertainment purposes only. We have the Chariot, right? A new era has embarked the world. A new decade, a new era has come upon us. And a new king and queen has risen. And that's what I'm seeing here. I'm seeing that this has to do with a king and queen, right? It makes sense. They call Jesus their king, right? Do they not? They call him the king of Jerusalem, right? We have a king and a queen. We have a brand new formation of a monarchy. But it's not a monarchy. It is a religion that acts as a monarchy. It's also possible that the papacy becomes a monarchy if it hasn't become one already. Okay, so will Christian Fascists bring back the Salem Witch trials? I did get that. The reason why I asked this particular question is particularly because I got that many times in the past since August of last year. I did get that. Which is ironic, it is August now. But I just see a lot of that, when I didn't really talk to you guys about what I saw in my third eye, but I kept seeing people being killed. I kept seeing concentration camp, the truth of the United States, how it's formed, and everything going on there. But what I also saw later on in August of last year, I saw that during the Salem Witch trial, that there was a brand new one that is brought upon us in the United States. You kind of see that already with women being very mistreated when it comes to abortion and pro-life and ideologies like that, where one religion is forcing their beliefs on other people way of life. But I do see that it's possible that they can make us 10 times worse. So much so that the Salem Witch trial could be brought back the same way I started. We're going to take a look. Again, guys, I'm not trying to scare you. This is just what I'm reading. We're going to read it. Right? I'm not trying to scare you. I had no intention of scaring you. So the deck that we're going to be using today is the Raven Wand Oracle. I have not used this tarot deck in a long time, if at all. So we're going to use it. Let's see. I don't know what to expect, so we'll keep an open mind here. Okay, Spirit Angel, tell me where Christian Fascists bring back the Salem Witch trial. Okay, if it's a yes, I'm going to freak out because I really do not want it to happen. Part of the reason why I also brought up this question, because it's going to lead into the next video. Well, the next video in the future of the same topic. We're going to talk about the handmaid trials, and I was going to be brought upon that. Okay, Spirit Angel, tell me, will Christian Fascists bring back the Salem Witch trials? I don't know what the cards look like, so we'll be looking together. Will they bring back the Salem Witch trial? Will the Fascist Christians bring back Salem Witch trials? Okay. A yes or a no. One more card. A yes or a no. Will they bring the Salem Witch trial back? And now, when I say Salem Witch trial, I don't necessarily mean witch. It's possible. I do see a lot of people who practice metaphysics and stuff like that. They will be put at trial and will be, you know, the way it always gone. But I'm also seeing as well, I'm talking about other people being accused of other things just on a simple basis that they don't practice someone else's religion. The same way Christianity was during Hitler. You also know spirits and angels. Will they bring back the witch trials? Will the fascist Christians bring back the witch trials? Yes or no? Like, they didn't want to really answer the question, so we'll see. Okay. Okay, so the first card we have here is the Destroying Angel. We have Dreaming Days. And we have Eternal Flame. Yike. Holy cow. Yike. Oh my god. Okay. Spirits and Angels, Tommy. Will the Christian Fascists bring back the Salem Witch trials? Oh god, okay. It looks like they will. Okay. So we have the Destroying Angel here in the past. I should make a video on the Salem Witch trial then. Okay, so we have here the Destroying Angel. We have here in the past, they believe that they were protecting humanity by doing their rightful duty, by killing and slaughtering people who were accused. Well, really what they did was they murdered all the good people and kept the bad ones. Right? That's why you see all the tombstones here. See all the tombstones here, right? But some parts of the ancestors had lived on. We have the dreaming days, the days of the Christian fascists dreamed of this day coming back. They dreamed of doing this again. Right? This is the story. This is the story that they've been brought back. This was an idea that was sparked and was recreated during Hitler, but it appears already to on its way back here. Right? We have the apples here. We have the wolf, the cat. We have a half eagle, half cat. And that's interesting because, you know, these are mythical beings. These are mythical creatures. We have a little dolphin bird, right? And what it is telling me here, it also is hinting at the olden days, that there are brighter days ahead of us. At least that's what we wanted. That's what we were manifesting for a long time. That something happened and it swapped. Here we have Eternal Flame, right? We're asking, will Christian fascists bring back the Salem Witch trials? If you're not familiar, the way that they killed a lot of the victims, or so-called witches, they burned them at the stake. And so the fact that they believe that when they burned them, that they were causing them eternal flame, the same energy as hell. But the joke is on them because hell is here, not up there. And that's why the card was reversed. But that came in the future, though. That's why it was reversed. All these were reversed. Because these already happened in the past. But that doesn't mean they won't happen again, because it can simply go upright again. The fact that it came up in the order in which it actually occurred is shocking. It is striking, especially when it comes to asking this particular question. We have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have the 7 of Swords, and that comes underneath daydreaming, rebellion, idea. I would not be surprised if people start putting out fake information or fake news that will propel us forward into this very moment, into this moment where people are being burned. Right, the last time people were burned, at least well-known wise, there's probably positive, there's probably more places that people are being executed on daily, but was during the Holocaust. Right. So we have here in the 2 cards here, we're asking, will the Salem Witch trials be brought back? And we have give and take. Right? We have the crows here. We have the scarecrow. We have this woman who's carrying a lot on her back. They're going to try, and it's going to be within the Supreme Court. There's going to be something here, but it's going to be very damaging. But the thing is, people know that this had happened before, so they have an advantage on how to get through it. and how to fight it. Something that our ancestors in the past have not had. We have Founding Day. It's possible they bring it back, and the Founding Day means, yes, it is coming. That is a day that marks the end of an era, an end of protection for people. It also means Founding Day as the renewal of people being united, as the people who were targets being united as one, a block of some sort of spiritual block. Whatever that is, there's a united front here, and that's what I'm seeing. We have the crows, again, we have the crows here, and the crows symbolize warning, something to come, right? But if you look here, we have the little dragon, which I actually had a sequel. I had a vision and a channeling, really, of the black dragon who came to me as a baby. So I will do a video on that in the future, and that may answer this question with the dragon. So that is the future. That's where we are right now, is that there is an undetermined future that is not yet determined, but it's possible it's brought up. But we do have here the powers of word matter. I think that's the best way to leave off, is that the powers of words can change someone else's fate. And that's the really idea here, is that hate and love can change something and change frequencies. So if you want to preach something, preach love if you really want to do the right thing. So, yeah, guys. I love you guys. I'll see you in another video. I hope you like this video. Don't forget to give a thumbs up, a like, and a subscribe. Don't forget to share this video with others. And let me know in the comment section below what you do think. I'll be able to see you guys in another video, okay? Bye.